Hello, everyone. Welcome to this new Symmetric Connect. I'm Mika Encina. I'm a customer education specialist. And also with me is Sergio Cristancho. He's a technical customer education specialist. So let's get started. We are going to talk about two topics, data analysis and accounting translator. So we are going to start about new version of data analysis model. This version is the version 0.6, but after that, what is data analysis? Data analysis is a model 100% focused of controlling and reporting your use of cases that are implemented in Symmetric. So here we can create dashboards to analyze the status of your reconciliation processes, also understand the relations of how your reconciliation are configured, monitor your resources, and reconciliations. So let's start with the new feature. In this case, we have the source monitor. In the source monitor, it will provide to you, the users, with a single place to control and identify the sources they need to manage. For example, the optimization of times and operations, identify also quickly and easily the sources that we have unexpected behavior. And this topic is very important because only builder and supervisor roles can create, edit, and delete this type of dashboards. So now let's take a look in the tool. Here we are in the tool. So in this case, we are going to analysis model, we are going to monitors, and also we are going to select source monitor. When we are here, we are going to press create monitor, and we are going to write a name. In this case, it will be Connnect English. We press create. And here we are going to be able to select and to activate all the files, all the sources that we want to activate and see in the monitor. So in this case, I'm going to visualize these two, the ERP and Visa. Once we select our visuals, we press save. Once we press save, now we can see the visuals. Here we have the numbers of files processed. In this case, we have just a third that we upload two files. Also, we have the file status. So we can see processed, to be processed, failed, empty file, and stopped. A little bit down, we have the monitor sources. Here we can see that we activate two sources of the 13 that we have in source management. So also we have source without new files and sources with incidents. If we scroll a little bit more, we can see the detail of monitor sources. Here we can visualize the two activate sources that we press. In this case, we have the ID number, the last updated, the source status that is ready. If it's in this recycle bin, that no, because we have the possibility to use it, and the file status, also the records and files. And if we scroll a little bit more, we have the information of log summary by day. Here we can notice and we can see the files and the records per day. And we can see that we upload one file with 330 records. All this information, you also can download it in CSV and also press and put the filter of the date that you want. So let's continue with another feature. All the new functionality that we have is the dashboard charts. Here you can create bars, donuts, or line charts that summarize your resources visually and allows you to have a control over the resources in the Universal Reconciliator. So let's take a look at the dashboards. In the lateral menu, we are going to find dashboards and we are going to create dashboards. In this case, we are going to use the same name, English Connnect. So here we press create and we are going to configurations. We are going to add the charts and we are going to start to completing the settings. We bring a name. We select also the resource. In this case, it could be the sources, reconciliations, or also the grouping too. So in this case, we select the reconciliation. And also we have the possibility to select the reconciliable group. In this case, we are going to use default. Then we can select the chart type. This, it could be the bar, donut, or also the line. In this case, we select donut. At the third step, it's the criteria settings. Here, in this case, I will select the status in the category. and also the values, the amount in values. So here it goes. Once I complete everything, I will press save and I wait to the charge. Here we have the results and we can see the reconciliated part and the unreconciliated. Other new dashboards that we have available is the individual KPI. In this one, you can create a visual with the key information and summarize of your resources. In what case that we can use it is to understand and keep track of your KPIs, to perform key calculations and display the summary, information for effective and strategic decision making. Also, an important thing here, only the building and supervisor role can create, edit, and delete this type of visual. So let's take a look in the dashboard. So now we look in the setting panel, the individual KPI, and we press Add. Here also, we are going to select the setting. Okay, so how can we create the individual KPI? We are going to setting panel and search the individual KPI and we press Add. Here, we are going to complete all the requirements. In this case, we are going to put the name. We select a source. The source, it could be the sources, reconciliations, or also the groupings. In this case, we are going to select the reconciliations. Also, we need to have in mind that we can also select the reconcilable group. In this case, I will put the reconcile because I want to see all the reconcile amount and the value column. In this case, we select this one and the operation. Here in the operation, we have sum, we have count, minimum, maximum, and average. In this case, we would like to sum. After operation, we are going to visual format. Here we have two options. We have the numeric one or the percentage. In the numeric one, we can see the thousands, millions, billions, and trillions. In this case, we need to also select the prefix. I'm going to put this and the suffix. In this case, I would like to see the amount in USD. After the suffix, also we have an option that we can see the full numeric value. So we can press it. Here we can visualize the preview. We can see the number, the amount. In this case, is K, is thousands. The suffix is USD. Also, the full numeric value, it will be 12,345 USD. Also, the resource, in this case, we are using the reconciliation of gateway versus debit. And the reconcilable group that in this case is reconciles. Once we finish to complete all of this, we save it. And we are going to visualize as a dashboard. Here we can visualize the dashboard. In this case, we have the 3 points. You can download in CSV, edit, or delete it. Last but not least, we have the download custom table. This is an add-on. In this case, in the custom table, you can download it as a CSV. So this doesn't have any code and you can activate it, contact with your CSMs. So we finish here with the data analysis model, and Sergio Cristancho, it will talk about the Accounting Translator. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Thanks, Mika. So, guys, we bring you the Accounting Translator. Before we start, we would like you guys to scan this QR code and answer a couple of questions. I'll give you a second. Okay, let's continue. So those pains we are talking about in the questions are the ones we bring the Accounting Translator to solve, to relieve. But how does the Accounting Translator plays a part in the symmetric world? So as for now, we have 3 big parts: the Universal Reconciliator, the Data Analysis, and the Accounting Translator. The Accounting Translator feeds from all the information that has been processed in the Universal Reconciliator and through an integration communicates it to the ERP. But what's exactly the Accounting Translator? The Accounting Translator is a module from Symmetric that generates accounting entries by taking all the transactions from the universal reconciliator and summarizing them and sending them in real time to the ERP. Now, the cool thing about this communication, it goes back and forth. That means we deposit something and we pick up something. Now, exactly how the accounting translator does this? So first, the information. The information is we take all the transactions for the universal reconciliator and we summarize them, as I mentioned, like the grouping. So we basically totalize the values based on the criteria you guys configure or establish. With that, we generate the accounting entry that is going to be later communicated to the ERP. Also, in the accounting translator, we have the ability to establish the accounting period. Maybe if it's displaced or not. That means that if we have an accounting period that starts the 5th day of the month and finishes the 5th day of the next month, we have the ability to make that displacement. Also, the connection with the ERP goes back and forth, as I mentioned. This could be through an integration, maybe an SFTP or a AWS bucket. Basically, once we generated the accounting entry, we created it in a text format called JSON. We deposit that in the bucket or the SFTP server, where the ERP will go, pick it up, consume it, and let us know if that accounting entry actually is good or not. Based on that, you can maintain and correct whatever you need from the accounting translator. Now, how do we use this? So we broke it down in 3 main steps. The first one, you need to characterize the layout of the accounting entry. This meaning you need to understand what's the information that has to be contained in one accounting entry. Once you get that picture, as we have this one, you need to list all the fields that you actually need and understand 2 things from them. The first one is the format they need to go. So if they have to be in a number format, in a date format, in a text format, or whatever else you need. Now, the other thing you need to figure out is the origin. So if this is information that is coming from the universal reconciliator, or is something you are feeding the model with, or even if it's something you need symmetric to generate for you. For instance, the date that the accounting entry is being generated, or the amount of transactions from the universal reconciliator that the accounting model is summarizing in that accounting entry. That's a step 1. Once you have that, you understand that, you will create something inside Symmetric tool in the accounting translator module that is called a structure. That structure is basically the layout. You need to create these fields, establish the format, and establish the origin. Once you have that, you go to step 2. From all those fields you listed, there were some fields, probably most of them, that will come from the universal reconciliator. Now, you need to make sure that the reconciliation you're going to be calling for this configuration actually has them. So you have to go and make sure, and if not, through transformation columns, make those fields available. Once you finish this, you go to step 3. In step 3, it's basically creating the accounting model. This is the actual functionality that is going to be generating accounting entries and communicating them to the ERP. With the layout you created and the reconciliation you prepared, you're going to call both those resources, and by matchmaking, you're going to create the accounting model and start generating your accounting entries. Now, there are 2 new features we would like you to know from the accounting translator. The first one gives you flexibility. Basically, once you create the model, that is the last part of the how we use it, you will generate this model in a draft by default. So accounting translator generates the model, how you configure it, and will give you the flexibility to change it or delete it because it is a draft. So you can review how the accounting entries are being generated and if they actually have the information correctly. If not, you have the ability to change it even delete it and create a new one. And the other functionality, it's going to be the frequency and the time of the automatic sending. So Accounting Translator is automated. You just configure it the first time. From there, all the accounting entries will be generated in automatic and sent in automatic. Now, you can establish at what time of the day you want to send these accounting entries to your ERP. You can put up to 3 times in the day. So this gives you a more dynamic communication, a more constant communication, and the ability to control your process in real time. That's everything we brought for you guys today. Please feel free to do the survey and let us know how you felt about this presentation and any doubts you have. Also, any feedback. Now, just to clarify, Accounting Translator is an add-on on the Universal Reconciliator. So guys, if you are interested in this add-on, please communicate to your CSMs and they will be more than happy to give you a quote. Also, if you have questions about this product and want to understand it more in detail, we will be more than happy to explain it to you guys. But also, please communicate to your CSMs and we will dispose from a space to explain whatever questions you have. As for now, have a great day, guys, and see you later.